classes and benefits. And as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Bertner Electric Incorporated provides professional commercial electrical contractor services to Indianapolis and surrounding communities. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, our knowledge and experience make us the perfect choice for all your commercial electrical contractor needs. Contact us today.
Thanks to you. Standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Indiana, let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's HCAC matchup between the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers and the Hanover Panthers. We are live here at Holbert Arena in Terre Haute, Indiana, where these two conference foes will be looking to pick up their fourth win on the season each as they match up in a mid-December clash. Both teams with a lot to play for, both teams on the road to improvement. I'm Galen Clavio. Great to be joining you folks. Landon Kleindorfer here on the call with me. And Landon, as we come into this contest, first of all, welcome to the network. Good to have you here for the first time.
I appreciate you having me on, bringing me in. I've been in the Terre Haute area for a little while, so I really appreciate being able to work with the program.
Absolutely. Well, let's start off with the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. It was a little bit of a bumpy start for this team. They've had a couple of weeks since that holiday tournament here during the Thanksgiving break, and they've played pretty well since then. 2 wins out of their last 3, and it really should be 3 wins in a row. They nearly knock off Mount St. Joseph in their previous game. They go to overtime. A couple of lucky shots fall for Mount St. Joseph, but this Rose-Hulman squad kind of rebuilding still and getting a feel for itself, but picking up a couple of big wins on the road. Looks like their trajectory is pointing in a lot more positive direction.
Yeah, the loss to MSJ, that is kind of tough because you know how close it could have been. This is a team that started off 1-4, and then they end up with a possibility of being 3-0 in conference play. That's a pretty quick turnaround in the early goings of the season. You got a new coach, you got some new faces, and you're trying to build a little bit of camaraderie, and I think that this is a program that's really started to turn things around early.
Before we get to talking about Hanover, let's get to our game day sponsors. We'd like to thank Morales Group, building better futures, one story at a time. Aspen Creek Grill, why go anywhere else for delicious food? Burtner Electric, providing quality electrical services in central Indiana. Boilermaker 374, second to none in quality and performance. Clean Slate, inspired innovation that moves businesses forward. And Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. Our thanks to those sponsors, and our thanks also to the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, as we'll be bringing you a lot more action with the teams within the conference, particularly here with the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers on RHIT.TV throughout the course of this season. We talked about Rose-Hulman and some of the outstanding players that they've had making contributions for them. It really starts with Jamie Baum, HCAC all-conference selection a couple of years ago, and this year has picked up right where she left off, 15 points, 5 rebounds per game, but she's had some company. 4 players averaging double figures right now for Rose-Hulman: Grace Rowland, Ashley Black, and Manuela Shamba. Shamba picked up her second double-double of the season in that game against Mount St. Joseph. A very balanced attack coming from this Fighting Engineers squad.
Yeah, you know you've got a few different players who can actually shoot the rock. They can get some buckets when they need to. But Shamba's been impressive, too, because that 7.6 rebounds per game, with an addition of 2.9 offensive rebounds per game, she's giving her team second chances. You've already got some good shooters, some good playmakers. Now you've got players that are getting second chances as well. That is going to breed good play for the Fighting Engineers.
As far as the Hanover Panthers are concerned, they're 3-4 on the season, 2-0 in HCAC conference play thus far, coming off a win at home against Defiance, where they really smoked Defiance, 96-43 in that game. But it's been an up and down season so far for this Hanover squad. They had a 3-game losing streak, which included losses in St. Louis to Washington University and then DePaul. But they have one of the top scorers, not just in Division III, not just in the HCAC, but in the entirety of college basketball.
Yeah, whenever I was reading that statistic, I was looking to see if it said which division it was in, and it said no, in the country. She is number 5 in scoring right now. Grace Bezold, 25.9 points per game, 8 rebounds per game as well, and an additional steal. She has been really good on both sides of the basketball, or both sides of the ball. She's been great. But the conference has noticed too. She's already 3 out of these first 5 weeks. She's been the player of the week.
26 points, 8 rebounds per game, 51% from the field. Does most of her work inside the arc. Got some help elsewhere on this team as well. Catherine Benter, 10 points, 4.5 rebounds a game. She's the big outside threat, 38% from 3. And then Kyla Lawson, the sophomore out of Columbus, Indiana, 9 points and 4 rebounds per game. Another player to keep an eye on. One of the things we've noticed in looking at these two squads, Hanover loves to pressure the ball. 18 turnovers forced per game, and that's been a little bit of a sore spot for Rose-Hulman. They struggled in some of their games, including that game earlier this year against Illinois Wesleyan. That's something that they need to address. They got to take care of the ball in this one if they want to hang on for the victory.
Yeah, and that defense and that pressure is much to the chagrin of this Rose-Hulman team. They so far 21.1 turnovers per game. They're only 0.5 right now in assist to turnover ratio. On the opposite side, Hanover is a team that loves to force turnovers. It's probably what they're best at right now. 1.1 the assist to turnover ratio. They're not giving the ball up at all, and they're taking it away a ton.
One thing about Rose-Hulman is they have been dynamite in the fourth quarter of play. They've outscored opponents 140 to 115. It's a really strong closing team. We'll look forward to seeing if they can build a lead and not have to come back in the fourth quarter, but they've demonstrated that they can really outplay their opponents when you get to that final frame, if necessary. We're getting ready here in a minute for starting lineups. Any final thoughts?
Just this Rose-Hulman team, they're going to have to take care of the rock like we talked about, but they're just going to have to really sell out on Bezold through this entire game. I mean, let somebody else kind of figure it out on the scoring side because they've only got 2 players in double-digit scoring this season. You might as well attack Bezold and see what happens.
Teams coming out, and they'll get ready for the national anthem. We'll take a break and come back with more here on RHIT.TV.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity, and that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your students to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
Since we're doing
Share. Learn more at AskRose.org. Confused by chemistry? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Hulbert Arena. Galen Clavio, Landon Kleindorfer joining you on tonight's RHIT.TV broadcast. Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers women's basketball. You can see the starting lineups being introduced for the Fighting Engineers. Jamie Baum, one of the starters. Manuela Shamba, another. And rounding out the starting lineup for Rose-Hulman, Ashley Black at one of the guard positions, Sophia Reese at a second guard position, and Amelia Diaz at a third guard position. For Hanover, a 3-guard, 2-forward lineup. Number 13, Taylor Heath, the senior out of Fairland, Indiana. Number 33, Katie Clancy, 5'7" junior out of Scottsburg. Number 34, Catherine Benter out of Brownstown. Grace Bezold, who you mentioned earlier, 5'10" junior out of Covington, Kentucky. And Kyla Lawson, number 11, out of Columbus. These teams getting lined up for the opening jump. We'll have 4 quarters, as we do in all women's college basketball. Ball is tipped, and we are underway. Ball eventually picked up there by Clancy. Quick three uncorked, and that one's dropped in. And right off the bat, Catherine Benter knocks in the first three of the game.
They just started that off with just a quick action, just drawing two defenders at once and getting an open three. Too easy.
Baum able to jump on the floor and get that loose ball. They're going to call it a jump ball, and so it will remain Rose-Hulman possession. But you saw right away there that pressure going to be something that Rose-Hulman needs to deal with throughout the course of this game.
Yeah, you know, Coach Paul talked about this quite a bit coming into this game, and seeing a tie-up on that first possession, you know, there's already going to be some adjustments and some wheels turning for this Rose-Hulman team.
So Baum will trigger. And Sophia Reese, the freshman out of Jeffersonville, Indiana, not too far down the road from Hanover. Tossed into Shamba. That was partially blocked. Clancy dishes it in. Nice pass and catch there, and Grace Bezold gets her first two of the night.
Getting the ball too close to that inside arc, it's going to make it too easy all day if she's able to get that sort of positioning.
Nice job breaking the press, and here's Shamba. Easy layup, up and good.
And you make a mistake on one side on the first possession, then you kind of figure it out. You're going to have open players down the court every time you have a press like that.
Little post-made basket press thrown on here by Rose-Hulman, and that's going to lead to a quick layup by Kyla Lawson.
Feel bad for any underbettors for this game, the way that the offense is already clicking.
Baum going to bring it up herself against pressure and nicely breaks. Working around the perimeter. Baum thought about it. Baum. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Wild layup, and bouncing off players was Sophia Reese. Here come the Panthers. Thrown out of bounds.
And right now, it looks like on the offensive end for Rose-Hulman, they're too busy trying to figure out what this defense is going to throw at them instead of taking open shots. There were a couple of opportunities around the perimeter where they could have pulled the trigger, and they didn't.
Quick steal. And Hanover going to come the other direction now. All alone underneath is Kyla Lawson, but she blows the layup.
Yeah, she was wide open under the basket. She's going to be thinking about that one, and then she gets the takeaway.
Now thrown off to Bezold, and she'll lay it up and gets her second basket of the night.
Fortunate right there that Rose-Hulman didn't pick up a foul as that one went in, a little bit of contact on the arm.
Rose-Hulman has definitely practiced breaking this press. That was nicely done, and Shamba can't convert, knocked out of bounds. That'll belong to the Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, other than that first possession, they've done a really nice job of breaking that press in multiple different ways. We did see Baum take it herself at one point. They passed to an open shot. They didn't take it, but then they're also able to pass it ahead really well and efficiently.
Rose-Hulman going to throw their own 1-2-2 zone press, trying to create some problems for Hanover and slow them down a bit. Bezold got position, double teamed, works against that and able to get it up and in. 11-2 now, Hanover.
She's taken the same shot 3 times already in this game from almost the exact same position on the court.
Baum breaks it. Pass off to Shamba, up and good. Manuela Shamba. This is where Rose-Hulman's most comfortable. They like to shoot it inside the arc. They haven't been that effective outside the arc, but they've been pretty efficient inside it. Nice steal.
Yeah, you know, Shamba missed that easy one a little bit ago, and then she goes ahead and hits the hard one. It was a nice bucket and a nice get there.
Reese. Randolph came in on that last substitution exchange. Long three, hard off the glass, no, and another jump ball going to be whistled. That'll belong to the Panthers.
It's a good hustle by Baum. Good hustle by Baum to get in there and try to get the bucket, or try to get the rebound, that is. But here's that tough one by Shamba. I already mentioned on the other side of the basket she missed, but she was able to get that one to go.
We have a media timeout. We'll take that ourselves. We'll be back right after this on RHIT.TV.
you an active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Live from Holwood Arena, this is our broadcast of Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers women's basketball. The Fighting Engineers trailing early 11-4, and thought we were underway, but
whistle,
a horn of some sort here as they had something, I think, to clarify as far as who was in the game, but looks like we'll go ahead and get started once again.
It's the first media, you know, maybe a little bit of confusion moving forward, but right now for Hanover, they have their top three scorers have all found a bucket already in this first quarter. Shamba, the only person who's scored so far for Rose-Hulman.
She's been on a bit of a tear offensively as of late, so not a huge surprise. Rose-Hulman switching to a zone, perhaps a good move with how dominant Bezold is in the paint. Shot taken baseline, that's going to rattle no. Rebound, though, up and good by Katie Clancy.
Already a couple of offensive rebounds and something that Rose-Hulman, if they're going to run that zone, they cannot allow.
9-point deficit for Rose-Hulman. Baum takes the three and rattles it home.
Good shooter's bounce right there, gets it on the soft shot, and second scorer for Rose-Hulman now.
Bit of a hurried layup there, no, and Grace Rowland pulls down the board for the Fighting Engineers. Myra Randolph off to Baum. Rowland gonna catch and shoot and can't get that to roll in. Pass off, layup no, and Rowland gets another board. Immediate impact on the glass there by Rowland as she comes in. Here's Randolph.
Need to get Rowland closer to the basket right here on this possession. I mean, she was awfully far out when she turned around and took the last shot.
And a foul going to be whistled. Taylor Heath going to be called on that one.
But we get that three-point shot, and it was a nice one there by Baum. She just hits the front end, and just a fortunate bounce gets it to go.
So sideline out of bounds for Rose-Hulman. 4:43 left in this first quarter of play. Lobbed in. Shamba moves nicely, decides to pass. 12 on the shot clock. Rowland can't get that to fall. And the rebound by Lily Ernestus. Heath. Now Bentner drives, checked. Turnaround jump shot, no. And rebound blocked away on the shot there. Nice job by Rowland, and Rose-Hulman comes out of there with it.
Two-handed block action for the big center Rowland.
Reese a little strong on that layup attempt. Remains a 6-point deficit. Heath. Cross court. Shot by Bentner, up and good. Second three of the game for Catherine Benter. And the junior out of Brownstown pushes this back out to 9.
And Benter gets that to go because of the way that they're packing the paint, making sure that there are no baskets that are going to be easy for Bezold.
Turnover in the backcourt. Here's Heath, going to lay it up and in. Looked like a couple of fouls potentially uncalled there in the backcourt.
Certainly a ton of contact.
Devin Paul not happy with the lack of whistles. Nice job with the passes, and a foul going to be called this time on Catherine Benter. As Grace Rowland was going up, she should get 2.
And that's the kind of ball movement that you need to see from this Rose-Hulman team. It seems like when they get across the court, after they've already talked with coach, they know where to go for a couple of passes, but then the offense gets stagnant. That's the first time we've really seen in this game where they've had really nice ball movement all the way through a possession.
Hanover's freshman Sammy Berman coming into the contest, 5'9" guard out of Independence, Kentucky. Rowland's first free throw up and no. Rose-Hulman from the free throw line, really good so far this year, shooting 80% coming into this contest, and knocks the second one down, 10-point margin.
These are both teams that don't mess around at the free throw line, and it has to feel good because you know if you can draw some fouls, you're going to have some confidence at the stripe.
Near steal, maintaining her dribble is Berman, and now a tie-up, and this will go back to Rose-Hulman. You don't normally get 3 jump balls in a game, let alone in a quarter.
Just immediately bang, bang. Obviously, we had it on the first time that Rose-Hulman was bringing the ball up the court, and now here. But, I mean, it's fortunate for Rose-Hulman. They're able to force a turnover, and that's going to be something that's important. If they're going to turn the ball over, they have to also force them on the other side.
Jamie Baum, step back, gets it to go. Jamie Baum, 5 points on the night, 18-10 here late in the first quarter.
Say right now she's liking that spot on the rim. She's hit the front of the rim 2 times, and it's gone in.
Drive, shot up, no. Hanover offensive rebound up and good. Grace Bezold where she needed to be to pick that one up, picks up her 8th point, 4 for 4 from the field, can add to that at the free throw line.
Yeah, and I mean, she's got 8 points, and it's all within the same square foot of the court. She hasn't really taken anything from anywhere other than that right side, and then she gets the free throw to go as well. But I mentioned earlier in this quarter that there was a possibility she gets that shot again, there was going to be an and one, and there was a foul called. She got it to go.
Nice job breaking the press by Rose-Hulman. Baum lays it off. Ball interrupted, picked up there by Godoy Rodriguez, and another foul drawn nicely there by Grace Rowland as the freshman are going to head back to the free throw line.
And they were really respecting Shamba down there. They had a double team going on in the paint. Whenever you see that, instead of trying to pass it and trying to force the issue down low, though, I would have liked to have seen a little bit of a swing action there. They do get the foul as they try to go over Shamba, and it works out.
Grace Rowland, the second leading scorer on this Rose-Hulman roster, 11.5 points a game and 7 rebounds a game. She's been a huge part of what this team has done so far this season. Knocks those two down back under single digits. Reese Sexton. Up top, here's a long shot. Rattles around, no. And now going to be picked up by Bezold. And Bezold kicks it off. Nice cycling there by Hanover, and they'll get the layup, as that was Sammy Berman picking up her first couple of points. And then I checked that. That was Lily Ernestus.
And that's a second chance opportunity, but I like what we were seeing on the defensive end as we get another break of the pressure.
Shamba a little too strong. Rowland, no. Ball bouncing free and picked up by Godoy Rodriguez. Now here's Baum driving in. A little pull-up J, misses everything. And now Reese Sexton going to handle the ball and come down with it.
Drew a lot of contact on that shot as well. They don't get the foul, though.
Berman, Bezold. Under a minute here in the first quarter. That ball knocked out of bounds. Nice defensive play by Jamie Baum. And some substitutions coming in for both teams. Tori Scales entering the contest for the first time. Triggered in by Sexton under the basket, almost knocked away, and diving on the deck for it. Looks like we're going to have another jump ball.
That's going to be number 4.
This one will stay with the Panthers.
But right now is an opportunity without number one on the court where you sort of need to tune in on defense, try to get a couple of possessions still with 46 seconds to go. That's possibly 2 scores for Rose-Hulman or more.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Inbound goes to Ernestus. Now handed off to Sexton. She'll drive, lays it up, and can't get the roll. And a foul going to be called on the putback.
Already 5 offensive rebounds so far in this game, 7 second chance points, and that is really what's killing Rose-Hulman in this game.
Kyla Lawson at the charity stripe, misses everything on that one. Lawson with 2 points and 3 rebounds, also an assist and a steal and a turnover, a little bit of everything out of her so far tonight. Knocks down that second free throw.
And then we've also had 4 tie-ups and an airballed free throw. So, I mean, none of this is on my bingo card tonight, but it's all happening right now.
Just missing the partridge in the pear tree at this point. 38 seconds remaining. Baum breaks the press. And a little too much passing there, unfortunately, as Diaz probably could have taken the shot, but tried to dish it off to Shamba, and it goes out of bounds.
And obviously, whenever you're Rose-Hulman, you're wanting the tip. Reese was asking for a possible tip on that play.
Little pressure applied. Benter brings it across the timeline. Shot clock and game clock pretty much synced up. So I'll be surprised if Hanover doesn't hold this for the final shot. And intercepted by Shamba. She'll bring it down the other way. 7 seconds. All the way in. Lays it up. No. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be Hanover ball.
Yeah, and that was the opportunity you wanted, and Shamba played that defensively so well because it looked like they had a player wide open underneath, and she just jumped the pass and was able to get it. Tries to go coast to coast.
Laid out, and that one bounces free. They say it was touched. It'll roll out the clock, and that'll be the end of the first quarter of play. Well, not the quarter that Rose-Hulman was looking for. We'll take a break and come back as we talk about some of the statistics from that quarter and get you ready for the second quarter of play. You're watching Rose-Hulman basketball on RHIT.TV.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity, and that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your student to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
Welcome back to Hobart Arena. Galen Clavio, Landon Kleindorfer joining you on RHIT.TV. Well, folks, just a reminder, our mission is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the fields and courts. Please respect the men and women who wear the uniform. They're a big part of the game. Sportsmanship is everyone's job. Maybe sponsorship as well. But regardless, the big issue for Rose-Hulman in that first quarter, without question, the shots just didn't go in. They broke the press nicely. 4 for 15, though, from the field, just over 26%. It's hard to stay in games when you're shooting at that mark.
Yeah, they've had some open looks under the basket. They've also taken some difficult looks at the basket, and I think that, sometimes they need the extra pass. Sometimes they're taking one too many, and that's kind of hurt this team right now. Need to find that happy medium.
Ashley Black inside, nice pass to Shamba, and the foul going to be called. And they'll draw that foul on Kyla Lawson.
One big positive, though, Rose-Hulman, they ended up with 4 turnovers, but they only allowed 1 basket after those turnovers. They were able to get back on the defensive end and either force a turnover or force a missed shot.
Well, and you got to give Rose-Hulman credit as Shamba knocks that first free throw down. They were clearly rattled in the first couple of minutes by the press, but they settled down nicely. They broke it very nicely. They just got to convert when they break it, and I think they'll be fine in this one. Second free throw up and good.
And I think it started with Jamie Baum. She's been playing for a while now, and she understands. She's seen this a lot, and she was able to really lead the way in breaking those presses.
Nice defense down low by Rose-Hulman, and a nice steal by Shamba. And here's the break the other way, 3 and 3. Almost a travel there, no call. Baum going to uncork it from distance, no. And Heath coming the other direction. Heath pulls up from the free throw line and gets that one to go. Taylor Heath with her first 2 of the night, and it's 26-14. Almost a throwaway. Shamba, looked like a foul there, no call. Looked like a travel there, perhaps no call. Letting them play down low. And another turnover. Passed off, layup, no. That one missed by Katie Clancy, and now here comes Rose-Hulman the other direction.
Another situation where they did turn the ball over, but there it was. Baum was able to get back and play some defense and force a bad shot.
Layup by Reese, up and good. Sophia Reese, the freshman. And a much-needed basket for Rose-Hulman gets this back to 10. Steal, bad pass there by Heath. Here comes Shamba. She'll take it all the way in on Bezold and lays it up and in.
That time, Shamba gets it to go. She has been a ball hawk so far in the paint, forcing turnovers left and right.
Third steal for Shamba on the night. There's Bezold answering. Well, we talked before the game about Grace Bezold. She scores a lot of points, 11 of the 28 now, and there's a steal in the backcourt, tie up, and another jump ball.
That'll be the 5th jump ball so far in this game. And so, I think it just shows the aggression between these two teams. There's a lot of physicality in the HCAC, but you see the drive right there. It's a nice basket going over the top of the defense with 2 defenders in her face, got it to go.
So baseline out of bounds for Hanover. And substitution coming in, it'll be Myra Randolph entering the game, and she'll spell Sophia Reese. Both teams have used at least 9 players so far in this game. A lot of substitutions in and out already. That one bounces off the rim, no, and quickly the other way. Here come the Fighting Engineers.
Great pass ahead to Baum.
Randolph. Diaz down low to Rowland. Gets position, lays it up, and can't get the shot to fall. Just some unlucky bounces down low so far for Rose-Hulman, or this would be a much closer game.
Yeah, 6 for 18 from the field so far right now. Hanover shooting 52%.
Three-pointer hasn't been a huge part of either team's game, although there's Heath trying to prove me wrong, and she didn't. Rebound by Rowland. Baum. Cross court. Randolph going to take that one. No. Baum chases down the board and knocks it away to Diaz. Nice play by Jamie Baum. Rowland, post position up, off the glass and good.
Earlier in the game, Rowland took a shot from about the right elbow. Instead, I said she needed to be able to get inward toward the basket. She does right there, and she shows why she can be dominant in the paint with her height.
Three-pointer way off, so here come the Fighting Engineers. Nice layoff to Randolph and off to Rowland. Oh, pardon me, that was Ashley Black. And just like that, it's a 6-point game.
And that's the extra pass I was talking about. They needed to be looking for those types of opportunities. Instead of taking a contested shot, take a wide open one.
Shots starting to fall a little bit here for the Fighting Engineers. Kicked out. 3 up and no good. Another miss there by Alexis Wines, the sophomore. And here comes Ashley Black the other way. She'll slow it up wisely. Baum driving, stops, puts it off glass and off the mark. That one knocked free, and Baum able to pick it up. No call there either. Again, letting them play down low. And stop me if you've heard this before. We got another jump ball underneath.
That's a jump ball, and Coach Jones was trying to get the timeout. We take a look at that last bucket from Black, and it's just a nice pass down low. And that's exactly what you're looking for in the paint. It's a 2-on-1. Take advantage of those opportunities. On the defensive end, though, right now Bezold's 5 for 5. The rest of the team is not shooting very well.
Baum. Dangerous pass, but now down low to now knocked free. Sophia Reese back in the contest. Into the lane, nowhere to go. Randolph kicks it off to Rowland. 3, no. Knocked around, and it'll be Hanover basketball as they come the other way. Bezeled all by her lonesome, and she'll take it up and in.
Bezeled 6 for 6 so far in this game. Hanover as a team without her is shooting the same percentage as Rose-Hulman.
Layup up and too hard off the glass, and a foul going to be called on that rebound there. They'll get Jamie Baum.
Yeah, a little bit too physical when that ball came off of the backboard, but right now Bezeled 6 for 6, 13 points and 4 boards. They did a really nice job between baskets of hers in defending.
We'll take a break and come back right after this.
Since we're doing...
Welcome back to Hobart Arena. Rose-Hulman women's basketball. They trail Hanover 30-22. Folks, just a reminder, if you're looking for great food for breakfast or lunch, check out Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe. They also specialize in baked goods. They have 3 steals so far on the contest. And then you got to look at both Jamie Baum and Grace Rowland, 5 points apiece.
Yeah, and Baum has done a lot more than just the scoring side. She's been a good facilitator, and she's done well bringing the ball up the court as well.
Turnaround shot, no good. Rebound up, and that is put home. Nice job by Katie Clancy cleaning up what Bentner left behind.
6 offensive rebounds, 10 second chance points so far in this game, and that's really been a difference maker.
Randolph getting pressure but keeping her dribble, and now loses it. Turnover coming the other way, and here's Bezeled, lays it up and can't get that to go. And a foul on the putback, another offensive rebound for Hanover.
And that has to feel good if you're on the defense. I mean, it was a 3-on-1 right there. They got the ball in the hands of their best player, and Hanover still couldn't convert. The offensive rebound, though, another killer as they'll get free throws.
Rattled home by Lily Ernstes. Ernstes with 5 points so far on the night, 2 for 2 from the field. And knocks that second one down. So it was a 6-point margin. Back out to 12 as Hanover has withstood this early push by Rose-Hulman. Columbia Rodriguez in the game along with Myra Randolph, who's holding the basketball. Looking for Shamba down low. They'll find her in the post. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Now kicked across. And Reese gets it off and gets it to go.
That's a really tough shot and a nice shot by Reese, but she had to do it herself. Not enough movement away from the ball right now.
Shamba rebound there on the miss. Myra Randolph, 5'4" senior out of Westerville, Ohio. Directing some traffic, trying to get some of the movement you were just talking about. Nice cut and laid up and unable to finish there is Ashley Black. Bezeled tries to distribute. No, another offensive board and another foul on the putback attempt, and that one's going to be whistled on Ashley Black.
Take a look at that floater, and I mean, it was a nice attempt. I mean, at that that right elbow, that is. There's 3 blue jerseys in the paint right there defending, and she somehow still gets it to go.
Back to the free throw line is Lily Ernstes, 5'9" sophomore forward out of North Vernon, Indiana.
Also important to point out, the reason there were 3 jerseys is because of the respect they're showing Shamba down low, because they know what she can do.
Rolls that second one home, and she'll come off the floor. And replacing her, freshman Regan Martin out of Owen Valley High School, just down the road here. Sophia Reese. Waiting for Baum off that curl. Rolling up and good.
That is just great positioning on that right block, but also just really nice there by Diaz to be able to see that opportunity, see that her players got great position, and then the turnaround Jay, just a nice shot. You see it right here, just able to put it up. When you're taller and you get it that close to the basket, it makes it a lot easier.
Can't get the free throw to fall. With 7 points now on the day for Rowland. Bezeled, can't get that shot to fall, and Baum comes out of there strong with the rebound. Now quickly down the other way. Here's Baum. Shot off the mark.
Needs to see the jerseys around her and just take advantage of your players being spread out against 3 defenders that are all in the paint.
Panthers cycling around, 2:15 left in this first half of play. Driving is Clancy, and an offensive foul. Katie Clancy gets a little out of control, and a nice job of picking up position there by Grace Rowland.
Yeah, and the way that the charge works now in college basketball, it's really difficult to get that call. You really have to anticipate, and it takes high IQ to draw a charge like that nowadays.
Rose-Hulman trying to cut down into this deficit before halftime. Diaz. Now here's Baum, 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Fake into the corner. Here's Sophia Reese for 3, and that's off the mark. Reese Sexton brings it across the timeline. Martin fires from 3. That's off the mark. Tipped out. They're going to be picked up by Clancy, and another foul going to be whistled.
And typically the contact in this game, they've really let these two teams play. That one a little bit more of a touch foul. Still a foul, but just a tough way to get that shot. It's a bad shot. I mean, you're away from the basket mid-range. Would have liked to have seen that one go on.
Katie Clancy with 5 points now on the night and 6 rebounds. And Clancy, not one of the taller players on the floor,
No.
but she has been a ball hawk down low looking for those offensive rebounds. Misses that free throw. Another offensive rebound, though, as Martin picks that up. It'll be a jump ball, and it'll stay with Hanover.
And they're already at 10 offensive rebounds so far on the day, in double digits on second chance points as well. I mean, it's not like Rose-Hulman's not also getting second chances. They're just not converting at the same rate. 5 offensive rebounds to only 2 second chance points.
Martin has to track that down, and they'll slow it up a bit. And the ball got lost there and rolls out of bounds. Looked like there might be any one of a number of things that could have been whistled there, and the answer was none of the above.
Yeah, that wasn't what I had either. I mean, that one went right between the legs of one of the Rose-Hulman defenders, but I didn't see any contact on the ball.
3 seconds left on the shot clock. Hanover triggers in. Nice play to Clancy. Can't get the shot to fall, but gets the rebound and puts it in. 13-point lead now for Hanover. Sophia Reese trying to go 2 for 1 here. Gets checked and brings it back out. Shamba double team down low. Here's Rowland. That one hard off the iron, no. So dribbling this out is Reese Sexton, about a 10-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Martin almost loses it. And another jump ball.
Thumbs go up. You know what's happening. It's a nice job on the defensive end by Rose-Hulman. It really just seemed right there that there was not going to be a pass out. And it was a nice job by Randolph to just step up and force that.
13 combined steals between these two teams so far. And we'll see Rose-Hulman holding for the last shot of the half, it looks like. Here's Jamie Baum. Probing the defense. Rowland had it stripped. And now the Panthers with a chance at the last shot of the half. Defense trying to choke up. Shot from 3 at the buzzer, and it's nailed by Regan Martin. And that'll end the first half of play. 3-pointer by the freshman, 42-26 the score as both teams head to halftime. Landon, your overall thoughts?
Well, you know, that 3-pointer makes 7 different scorers for this Hanover team, but the 13 from Bezold. But the really big factor right now, Rose-Hulman needs to lock it up on the paint, or on the glass that is, get those rebounds and stop all those second chance points.
Hanover 42, Rose-Hulman 26. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with our halftime guest, an overview of the statistics, and a look at the second half storylines here on RHIT.TV. Be right back.
Are you an active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Welcome back to Hulbert Arena. Galen Clavio joining you here on our broadcast of Rose-Hulman women's basketball. We're delighted to be joined at halftime by Caleb Urban, the captain of the men's soccer team here at Rose-Hulman. Caleb, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm great. Good to be on.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, a fun season for Rose-Hulman men's soccer. I was up there for that HCAC championship matchup at Manchester. Overall, your impressions on how the season went?
I mean, I'm really proud of the guys. We lost a lot from last season. 5 or 6 seniors that graduated and played quite a few minutes for us, including fellow All-American with me the previous season. So we definitely had some spots to fill, and a lot of our upperclassmen stepped up. And honestly, in my opinion, we exceeded expectations and really glad to win another conference championship.
Yeah, a huge honor, obviously, to be able to do that, and a great accomplishment all the way around. You know, when you're trying to replace that many pieces, as a captain, as someone who's essentially kind of a coach on the field, what is your role in trying to bring everybody together? How do you get a new group playing as well or better than the previous group did?
You know, it really started in that next off season. You know, kind of getting everybody to buy back into the process and working hard in the off season and making sure everybody understands there's a reason you're out here. There's a reason coach recruited you to play college soccer, and the next guy stepped up and filled in those roles perfectly, and obviously got the job done this year in conference.
As you look back on your college career, I mean, it was a decorated college career. You had a lot of accomplishments individually. You know, what sticks out to you in terms of what you were able to accomplish and what your team has been able to accomplish over these last several years?
Honestly, for me, it's been winning either the regular season or conference tournament every year that I've been at Rose. That's a big goal for us in preseason, something we talk about. That's why we played the tough games in non-conference, playing against North Central, Ohio Northern, usual top 25 opponents, so we're best prepared for those conference games. And, you know, those are the grind-out games of the year in conference at the end. So really staying up with those and winning the conference, either tournament or regular season, has been what's meant the most to me.
As you think about, you're moving forward here, obviously, what's next for you? What are you planning on doing?
So I've accepted a full-time job offer. I'll be a structural engineer in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Congratulations. That's
Thank you.
awesome. What was it that drew you to that particular area of engineering?
Kind of growing up, I always knew I was good with numbers, and I really enjoyed my science courses I took in high school. So Rose-Hulman ended up being a perfect fit with engineering, kind of being that field that combines both of them. And also having an opportunity to make an impact on the greater good, hopefully, and getting to do something I enjoy.
Well, we wish you the best of luck moving forward with your career. And again, congratulations on all you were able to accomplish as a member of the Rose-Hulman men's soccer team and as a captain. In one of the most decorated careers we've seen out of a Rose-Hulman athlete here lately. So my congratulations to you, and we really appreciate you taking the time to join us today.
Thank you. Appreciate it as well.
Absolutely. Caleb Urban joining us here on the broadcast. We'll take a break and come back with more after this break here on RHIT.TV.
Anxious over algebra? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org. Confused by chemistry? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org.
Welcome back to Hobart Arena. Galen Clavio, Landon Kleindorfer joining you here on RHIT.TV. Happy to be joining you folks once again. Just a reminder, folks, that when you shop, you're not just buying a purse or an end table that you plan to refinish. You're providing critical funds that help men, women, and children get back on their feet when you stop and shop at Wheeler Mission Thrift Store. Your purposeful purchase provides help and hope. You might be the first to snag a deal. Stop by today, 8640 East 96th Street in Indianapolis. Well, Landon, as we look at these statistics for this first half play, as you mentioned at the beginning, we knew Grace Bezold was likely going to score a lot of points. Rose-Hulman did a pretty good job of containing her teammates for most of the first half, but the offensive rebounds are really what has allowed Hanover to stake this larger lead.
Yeah, and at one point, Hanover and Rose-Hulman were tied. They each had 5 offensive rebounds. The difference was Hanover had 7 or 8 points off of those. Meanwhile, Rose-Hulman only have a pair of points on second chance opportunities. Right now, it's 11 offensive rebounds for Hanover and 17 second chance points thus far in this just through the first half alone.
30 rebounds total for Hanover in this first half, only 16 for Rose-Hulman. Rose-Hulman's shooting has gotten better. They really struggled in that first quarter, but came back and got several players to put the ball through the hoop. Leading scorer Manuela Shamba, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 3 steals so far on the game. Grace Rowland, 7 points on 2 for 11 shooting, 3 for 5 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds and a block. And Jamie Baum still kind of waiting to get going. She had a good opening, but struggled to get fully into an offensive rhythm. So as we look into this second half, that's got to be a place where Rose-Hulman's got to start offensively.
Absolutely, but it starts with screen actions, trying to get her away from the ball, making moves, getting open shots. She's sort of having to create three-pointers for herself, and the ones that she has taken, she hit the first one, but then she missed the second one, and both of them were tough shots. She was not necessarily open on either one of them. She has driven to the basket a few times, but every time anybody's trying to drive the basket for Rose-Hulman, there are 3 bodies in the paint trying to defend because it's already kind of bunched up as Shamba's down there constantly, and that is sort of the game plan thus far for Hanover.
Give Rose-Hulman a lot of credit. They haven't really been bothered by the pressure in the backcourt by this Hanover team for most of the game. Only 8 turnovers for Rose-Hulman, which against a team that forces 18 a game, that has to feel like an accomplishment. But where it's bothered Rose-Hulman, as we mentioned a little bit earlier on, has been they haven't finished particularly well. It took them until halfway through the second quarter for those layups to start falling after they broke the pressure. And that's really going to be the key for Rose-Hulman in terms of their offense. Other than getting Jamie Baum started, you got to finish off those layups.
Yeah, and the opportunities were coming, especially whenever they started breaking the press in the first quarter. It seemed like they really had something going, but the problem was they just weren't converting on shots. And you talked about how the field goal percentage has gone up in that second quarter. They weren't getting the same opportunities, though. They weren't taking the same quantity of shots, although they were getting better quality.
We'll take a break and come back with the start of the second half here on RHIT.TV. Stick with us.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity. And that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your students to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
Back here at Hobart Arena, let's take a look at some of the upcoming games for both of these squads as we are right in the thick of the holiday season, so the game's not coming as fast and furious as they normally do. Rose-Hulman will be in action again in 3 nights as they'll take on Elmhurst here at Hobart Arena. They've got a game on the night of the 22nd of December as they'll travel to take on Spalding, and then a bit of a break until the new year January 3rd, they'll be hosting Franklin College right here at Holbert Arena. For Hanover, they'll be traveling to Mount St. Joseph, where we just saw Rose-Hulman play, and then they'll have about 13 days off before a December 29th matchup at Mount Union, and then a game on New Year's Eve as they take on Muskingum. So all of that coming up here with both these squads. Key game from a conference perspective, we mentioned earlier, these two teams, both with a couple of wins already in HCAC conference play. Hanover 2-0, Rose-Hulman 2-1. Obviously, you've got plenty of time left in the conference season, but if you can add up those wins early, it makes your patterns of when you have to win and who you have to win against a little bit earlier or a little bit easier as you go down the stretch.
Yeah, and we already talked about it with Mount St. Joseph, who Hanover has to go through next. If they win that game, we're talking about two teams that are undefeated in conference play, trying to play for really the top spot in the conference. So, I mean, this is a Rose-Hulman team that really understands, I'm sure, the situation with conference play. You obviously want to knock off as many teams as you can in the early goings. That way, if you do hit that slump in that January, February spot, you do have time to recover because you already have that significant lead.
Both teams returning to their original starting lineups as we get this second half underway, and it'll be Hanover basketball as we've lost track of who the possession belongs to thanks to all of the jump balls so far.
Yeah, I'm surprised the light hasn't gone out on the possession arrow yet.
So Panthers going to set up here in their normal offensive set. And a block and a foul going to be called there. A nice job by Katie Clancy, the Hanover guard, as she has really been a problem for Rose-Hulman defensively, grabbing offensive rebounds and taking advantage of some weak side defensive let-off, as so much of the defensive effort thus far has been focused on keeping the ball away from Grace Bezold.
Yeah, and right there, she just put Sophia Reese in a bad position where she wasn't going to be able to recover, and she does a nice job of going up with it and drawing contact. Actually, I think that was Amelia Diaz. But still, it was just a really nice job of getting into a good position where you're going to draw a foul. And for Diaz, she goes down with her hand. I think it was actually clean, but the problem is anytime you swipe down like that, you're likely to pick up a foul.
So Diaz in a bit of foul trouble now with 3. She'll head to the bench. Three-pointer off by, that was Myra Randolph, but she'll get the rebound back. Drive by Randolph, layup, got it to go. So Randolph finally gets into the scoring ledger. 44-28. Layup up and no good and knocked out of bounds. Again, though, an offensive rebound there attempted, almost pulled in by Katie Clancy.
Yeah, and actually both teams have already had opportunities, and I wouldn't have thought that the first, second chance points would have gone for Rose-Hulman, but they've so far gotten it to go. And on the other end, Hanover does not make the shot, and here we go now with Rose-Hulman.
Shamba through contact, no, and saved by Hanover. Taylor Heath, the 5'4" senior guard out of Fairland, Indiana, went to Triton Central High School. Now underneath the basket, up and good. Heath, her 4th point of the night.
And she's not one of the 3 top scorers on this team. She's typically a pass-first player. I think looks like possible shot to the nose to Reese right there.
Yeah, Sophia Reese definitely took some contact. Looked like almost like she got hit in the eye and has to commit the foul to keep an odd player rush coming the other direction.
That was certainly a frustration foul, too. I mean, anytime you get hit in the nose, there's no foul called. She loses the basketball immediately. That's always tough to see.
Clancy slices through the defense, but it's blocked away by Reese. Nice play by Sophia Reese, and now knocked out of bounds.
She had the angry foul after the turnover, but then that one was an angry block. She goes up with both hands, and it's denied. And so now Rose-Hulman has a chance to get some points off of the turnover.
Rose-Hulman down 18. Still plenty of time to come back in this game, but they've got to start scoring. Shot popped by Ashley Black. Can't get the 3 to fall. Nice rebound by Shamba, and she'll pick up free throw attempts as she's fouled on the putback.
And Shamba, I'm not really sure how. I mean, she just out-athleted everybody right there. She was surrounded by blue jerseys, and she goes up and gets that board.
Shamba 5'9", certainly not the tallest player in that scrum, but the one that wanted the ball the most.
Absolutely, and she earned it. She's got 2 shots coming up now.
Knocks down that first free throw. Shamba now 3 for 3 from the stripe. She's got 9. Perfect so far. And Rose-Hulman 7 for 9 from the charity stripe thus far. It's been one of the bright spots for them offensively.
Yeah, and the offense has worked a little bit better here for Rose-Hulman. They're chipping away at this lead.
Shot no good. As Bezold been a little bit quiet over the course of these last couple of minutes. Cross court, here's Sophia Reese for 3. Got it to go! Reese with her 7th point of the night. And back to a 13-point margin, but here quickly the other way, missed layup by Grace Bezold.
It's only the second 3-pointer of the game for Rose-Hulman.
Ashley Black gets position, gonna lay it up and in. Little run here by the Fighting Engineers. 46-35.
Offensively, this has looked like a completely different team. And on the flip side, Hanover has looked like a different team offensively. They can't get anything to go.
Heath, air ball, Jamie Baum out with the rebound. Thought about the outlet, but decided against it, and now foul going to be called on Katie Clancy.
And we take a look again at that 3-pointer from the left wing, and that's just a great job with the passing. You go wing to wing anytime like that. If the defense is caught off guard, it's going to lead to wide open shots like it does right there.
Only Sophia Reese's second 3-pointer of the entire season. Rowland tried to do that drop step, but a nice job of anticipating, and Clancy able to come away with the turnover. Now the ball knocked away. Here's Baum the other direction. Little Euro step up and good. Jamie Baum getting back into this one. She's got 7, and it's a 9-point margin.
I mean, she would have made Manu Ginobili proud on that one. That was a great play to the hoop.
Timeout called, and you can see that little sidestep there, and it's a good way to get yourself in better position if you're going to get that shot off.
Yeah, Baum just went straight to the hoop right there. And honestly, I was waiting for the outlet pass. They've had those perimeter chances. Obviously, they hit their first 3 since the early goings of the first half. Instead, Baum basically in a 3-on-1 just goes straight at the hoop, jukes out 2 players. The other one's covering the 3-point line, and it just makes it easy.
Just a reminder, folks, Boilermaker Locals 374 can offer you a career as an iron shipbuilder, blacksmith, or general helper. For more information, contact the International Brotherhood of Boilermakers at 219-845-1065. Well, Rose-Hulman, we've talked about their shooting woes so far in this contest, but in this third quarter, 4 for 7 from the field, shooting 57%, far and away better than what they've managed up to this point. And meanwhile, they have forced this Hanover squad into 1 for 6 shooting. It's really been a tale of first half versus second half so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a team, this Hanover team has gone from shooting 52% in the first quarter, and it has gradually gone down every time that they have switched quarters, and I think that has a lot to do with the way that this defense for Rose-Hulman has settled in. They were really allowing a lot in quarter number 1, and since then they have had bodies on bodies and making it very difficult on every shot.
You'll recall Rose-Hulman got it down to 6 in the second quarter, and Hanover was really able to apply pressure and push it back out pretty effectively. Here's a 3 coming the other way. A big answer by Catherine Benter, and that pushes it back out to 12.
She comes from a basketball family. They've all been in certain moments like this, and she steps up right there.
Reese gets stranded. Fake shot. Now here's Reese in the corner for 3. Knocks another one down. doubles her 3-point total on the season and back to a 9-point game.
Just a crazy, wide open. I mean, both times she was able to get wide open and take advantage, but she probably wasn't on the report on people who are going to be taking those shots.
Heath, not a great shot there, 19-footer, fight for the rebound, and a jump ball going to be called. So that'll go to Rose-Hulman, and you can see Reese just uncorking, no hesitation whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, in the first half, Rose-Hulman was attacking the paint at every single opportunity, and so everybody's collapsing right now trying to defend any layups, and also that way they can secure rebounds. The three-pointers are going to be wide open for at least for the rest of this quarter.
Cross court from Randolph. Sophia Reese drives, has it knocked out of her hands. Oh, they're going to say that's off of Reese, as she maybe just lost it. And she'll head to the bench. Amelia Diaz back into the contest. And also Grace Rowland in the contest as well. 49-40. And Amelia Diaz needing to be a little bit careful here. She's already got 3 fouls.
And Shamba comes back into the game as well, so the offense might be looking a little bit different than it did just a play ago.
Hanover. And now 3 seconds going to be called. Don't see that one that often, but Grace Bezold camped out in the paint. And immediate timeout going to be called. We'll take this one ourselves. 49-40, Hanover leads. We'll be back on RHIT.TV.
Are you an active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger. It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
9-point margin at Hulbert Arena. Hanover leading Rose-Hulman 49-40. Galen Clavio along with Landon Kleindorfer enjoying this broadcast so far, and we've got a little pressure back up once again. We haven't seen a lot of this pressure since the first quarter.
Well, I mean, right now you're just trying to slow down this Rose-Hulman offense, and Baum has to pick it up.
That was a bit dangerous. They get it across the timeline. Nice break, and Shamba up and good. Manuela Shamba, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, and it's a 7-point game.
And that's exactly what you didn't want if you're Hanover, was the quick transition out of that sort of a pressure, and so they might have to switch out of it pretty quickly.
Now working against Rowland, almost out of bounds. Baseline J up and good. Nice looking shot by the senior there, Taylor Heath.
And that's typically very difficult for a defense to defend. Whenever you've got a player going down, all eyes go to that position, and it just results in a wide open mid-ranger.
Baum in the high post. Diaz down to Shamba, posting up. Oh, the feed a bit off target. She had a cutting Grace Rowland, but couldn't quite target her, and now a bunch of new faces coming into the game for both teams. One face we haven't seen, and a big one for Rose-Hulman, is CK Gallegos Rodriguez. Hasn't really made an appearance so far in this contest, I'm assuming due to injury.
Yeah, we really haven't seen her, and that was somebody that you and I had talked about before the broadcast as somebody who might be able to make an impact on this game. She leads the team in steals with 1.8. Obviously, the defense is still playing well for Rose-Hulman as you get a throwaway right there.
Yeah, another turnover as Grace Bezold really being stymied nicely by this Rose-Hulman defense. They're making it very hard for her to get the ball, to catch it in clean positions, and it leads to a turnover there. So Amelia Diaz And Myra Randolph going to bring this one up. Randolph dribbling against some pressure. Trying to get Shamba in position, lays it up. That one's a little too strong. And a tie-up going to be called again. And this time it'll go in favor of Hanover as Sophia Reese comes back into the contest, replacing Diaz.
You know, you brought up Gallegos Rodriguez, and one thing that she does bring to the table on this team is the rebounding. We talked about how the offensive rebounds have gone so heavily in Hanover's way. Well, she averages the second most rebounds on this team with 7.1, so she's an important body to be missing out on.
Block shot and a foul going to be called. New face in the game, Maria Godoy Rodriguez, going to pick up that one. So 2 shots coming as Catherine Benter will head to the free throw line.
And that was just one of those situations where you're in a hurry on the offensive end. The defense was kind of caught lacking a little bit right there, and you can just go straight into a body and pick up an easy foul.
So Benter can put her team back up by double digits. She does. Hanover's been very good at the free throw line so far in this game, 10 for 12. And now 11 for 13. So both teams have really done a nice job from the charity stripe. Reese fed it off, but that one's thrown away as she tried to find Black to no avail. Laid off and laid up, and good by Lily Ernstes. And back to a 13-point margin.
Reese tried to get back right there, but the body's just really too much bigger than she was. Made it a lot easier on that break.
Foul going to be called on Ernstes, and that was pretty obvious.
Yeah, I mean, there's too much contact on the body right there. You deflect the ball, but if you just reef somebody, it doesn't really matter.
Grace Rowland coming back into the contest for Rose-Hulman. Shamba leading the Fighting Engineers in scoring with 12 points, Sophia Reese with 10, and then Rowland and Baum with 7 apiece. And we'll see Randolph, who's got 2 at the free throw line. She knocks the first one home.
And you mentioned the free throw shooting. Both teams shooting around their typical free throw percentages, and you know these are 2 top teams in the conference when it comes to charity stripe shooting. So you expect both of them to be able to finish them off, and then there you get the miss.
Rolls off the side of the rim. Sexton guarded by Reese. Now they've started bezeled pretty far away from the basket here. Really good post defense being played. Now here's Rowland. Edges off. Now bezeled, has it stolen, and Reese takes off, and a little 2-on-1 if she wants it. Black in, lays it up, and too strong. Bezeled, dribbled into a near steal again, and now a foul going to be called on Black as she tried to knock that out from behind.
Basically just tried the same move that she did to poke the ball away the first time, just a little bit too much contact the second time around. But we talked about, you mentioned Bezold on that last possession, really far away from the basket, not where she's wanting to get that basketball, and that's why she's got 13 points. I want to say only 13 points is the way that she's been able to score this season.
Yeah, averaging 29 a game. Rose-Hulman should be pretty proud of their defensive effort such far against her. Cycled around, here's Clancy. And Bezold almost loses it, gets it back, moves in, layup short. Horn went off, but it's not a shot clock violation because it hit the rim beforehand, and now another jump ball, and this will go to Rose-Hulman.
And that's really good hustle trying to get on the boards right there for Rose-Hulman. They've had a tough time getting those offensive rebounds, and it takes some physicality like we just saw right there to make sure you secure possession. But that was another miss by Bezold and really good defense by Rose-Hulman.
You'd really like to get the lead under double digits by the fourth quarter if you're the Fighting Engineers. Baum loses it, unfortunate. Now trucking down the other direction is Sexton, and a foul going to be called on Randolph.
That's not a bad foul at all right there. Randolph, only her first personal foul. So, I mean, you stop the ball. Maybe they missed the free throw right here. Really no harm, no foul to try and get a stop right there.
Lawson back into the contest as they'll put Bezold on the bench. Free throw up and good. So Reese Sexton, her first point of the game. Knocks the second one home. Back to a 14-point margin. Rose-Hulman trailing, and that one almost stolen by Katie Clancy, but it'll remain with the Fighting Engineers.
Yeah, and immediately after that tip, you could see Reese just calling for backup, trying to get some more players to make sure that they can get this quickly.
Reese across the timeline. Now Baum. Reese thought about uncorking it again, but goes to Shamba, and that one went off the bottom of the backboard. There was a shot clock reset there, and there probably shouldn't have been.
Reese, a lot of pump fakes.
Shamba can't get the layup to go, and it'll be Kyla Lawson coming out of there with the board, and the shot clock is off.
2 chances there for Reese to take the shot. I mean, she's already hit 2 today. I would expect her to have a little bit more of a green light.
Clancy getting harassed by Randolph. Oh, and the thrown to right to Baum. 8 seconds left. Jamie Baum going to go in hard, and she'll get a foul drawn on Katie Clancy. So they'll pick up the foul. It's on the floor, so it'll be an out-of-bounds play with 5.8 seconds remaining.
At first I thought I saw the most nonchalant and one signal I've ever seen in my life, but that would have been more of an NBA continuation if they had given it to her.
Screen for Baum, 4 seconds left. Spins, baseline, needs to get the shot off, and not in time, and it was no good regardless. So a really spirited start to that third quarter, but it's still Hanover leading by 14. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the final frame right after this. Welcome back to RHIT.TV's coverage of Rose-Hulman women's basketball. Just a reminder, folks, the Morales Group is building better futures one story at a time. They have locations in Indianapolis, Zionsville, Anderson, Columbus, and Lafayette. For more information, give them a call, 317-472-7600. Hanover leading by 14. They have the ball to start this fourth and final frame. Rose-Hulman looking for a path back into the contest. It's going to start with defense. Ball nearly knocked away. Now kick back out to Benter, and she can't get the three to fall, and Rowland does a nice job pulling that board down. But they're going to call the foul on Amelia Diaz.
Well, I thought that was going to be a foul drawn by Rose-Hulman. I mean, Rowland seemed like she just got hammered. Must have come before that. As the ball was coming off of the rim is where they had to have called that foul.
So they'll trigger the inbound on the out-of-bounds play. Bezold getting harassed by a couple of fighting engineers. Cross court. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Bezold optimistic at best, and now a foul going to be called, not a jump ball.
And you can see Coach Jones for Hanover not happy about that. I mean, from our angle, it did look like they had the hand on the ball.
It was the right call. It was a foul.
And, yeah, what I was going to say was it was too much physicality before that that drew that foul. But also all Coach Jones saw was that the hand on the basketball.
Angles are tricky things.
Exactly.
So that's why I don't like courtside seats, you know. So Sophia Reese crossed the timeline. Diaz with 4 fouls, really the only fighting engineer in foul trouble. Dropped into Rowland, nice drop step, nice turnaround, and gets that to go.
A lot easier to get baskets when that paint isn't just covered with defenders. A couple of three-pointers probably spreading out that defense.
Layup, no, but a foul going to be whistled, and I think Jamie Baum is going to get whistled on that.
You take a look at that one more time, you notice there's only one person on the defensive end that has any chance of contesting, and she's probably giving up about 3 or 4 inches in height. So, I mean, it just makes it a lot easier for your offense to click.
Already 2 fouls on Rose-Hulman in this quarter, and that's a bit of a concern because we've seen this Hanover team knock down free throw after free throw so far on the night, now 14 of 16 from the charity stripe.
Yeah, they are just consistently knocking down these shots at the charity stripe. And once you start getting into the teens, that's where it really starts to affect the game.
59-45, back to a 14-point margin. Reese. Now Black for 3, can't get it to go. Rebound pulled down by Bezold. Clancy almost lost it. Nice job keeping it alive. And a nice baseline J by Taylor Heath.
I mean, really baseline J. I think she was actually behind the backboard. That thing was coming toward the front of the rim.
Baseline, it's a very inadequate term. It really, there needs to be more than just that. Now Baum thought about the step back. Into the lane, Reese. That one almost knocked away. Shamba pulls it out, and a foul going to be called.
Yeah, and that one nearly turned over. Is another situation where they're just trying to force that ball to Shamba. They know that they want to get her the basketball, but the problem is Hanover's not allowing it. When you see those 2 defenders, that's when you really need to start moving that ball to the opposite end. Somebody's going to be open.
So Clancy gets a well-deserved break, and Caitlin Lorenzi into the game. Rowland almost lost it. Reese slithers through and can't get the layup to go, but Rowland gets it blocked. Foul going to be called, though, and that'll send her to the line for 2.
The offensive rebound's getting a lot closer here in this second half, and I think that Rose-Hulman's done a much better job on the glass.
Now, the rebound margin has definitely dropped 37-28 now in favor of Hanover. It was a much worse margin earlier on in the game as Rowland knocks down that free throw.
And we've mentioned that Hanover's doing really well at the charity stripe, and Rose-Hulman has done well as well.
Second free throw up and good. Grace Rowland into double figures. Tori Scales into the contest, and she'll spell Grace Rowland. And a foul going to be called on Sophia Reese. Trying to get a little bothering of the basketball, maybe knock it away or knock it off of the player who's receiving the inbounds, but you stick your hand into the cookie jar like that, sometimes you're going to get caught.
Yeah, she saw blood right there because Heath had fallen before that, and so she was hoping she could try to get her off balance.
Bezeled up, good, and a foul. Got Manuela Shamba right where she wanted her in the low post, and a nice job of converting on that basket.
And that is not typically what we've seen defensively from Rose-Hulman, especially in the second half. They haven't allowed players to get the ball in that position, and that is why they've been preventing that so hard, is because it was really working out for Hanover in the first half, and that's where Bezold's going to want the ball every single time.
Grace Bezold's first points since the first half. She's got 16 now, and it's back to a 17-point margin. Shamba picks up the basket, picks up her 14th point in the process. And Rose-Hulman needs a bunch more points at this point. They've got to make some stops here on the defensive end as well if they want to get back into this one.
Yeah, down by 15. They cannot allow long possessions. It needs to be much like it was at the beginning of the third quarter, where it was just quick action after quick action.
Little coming together. Now shot taken off of that pass, and that's Grace Bezold once again, and she looks like she's heating up finally.
Yeah, and she's also starting to extend her range a little bit as well.
Reese off to Black. Black will drive, try to get it to Shamba, lost it, and Bezold picks it up, and a foul going to be called on Black.
No tie-up that time. I thought that they actually were going to call it.
And this will be free throws for Grace Bezold as we're already in the bonus. Black going to sit down, and Diaz comes back in. Reese going to sit down, and Randolph comes back in for the Fighting Engineers. Only foul trouble thus far. Amelia Diaz back in the contest. She's got 4. And for Hanover, Katie Clancy with 4 fouls on the contest. Nobody else with more than 2. Free throw good by by Bezold, pardon me. Her 19th of the game.
And Diaz, somebody you certainly want on the court, as somebody who can force turnovers and play good defense, but she's just gotten caught a couple too many times.
Rebound knocked away, and Hanover picks it back up. There's Benter for 3. Rattles around and gets it to go. And a timeout going to be called. 70-49 here. We're going to keep it here for this break. Just a reminder, folks, Piper Logistics specializes in everything from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. 3 services, 1 solution. They do it all. For further information, give them a call at 317-396-1023. And just a reminder, folks, that IndianaSRN Sports Web TV is your gateway to Indiana sports excellence. Partner with IndianaSRN, where success and sponsorship meet. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Again, that's coach@indianasrn.org. Well, if the third quarter belonged to Rose-Hulman, the fourth quarter so far has definitely belonged to Hanover, outscoring the Fighting Engineers 13-6 in this final frame. And a lot of the damage has come from the free throw line, but it's also come down low as Rose-Hulman finally starting to see some cracks in that defensive foundation.
Yeah, and I think it has a lot to do with pace of play. This is a Rose-Hulman team that whenever they were finding success in the third quarter, they were able to push the basketball quickly. They got a couple of quick threes from Reese that was really helpful to sort of spread out the defense, and then they could really start attacking at the basket. Once Rose-Hulman was unable to force turnovers and start moving quickly, that's whenever things started slowing down a lot, and that's where it looked a lot more like the first half.
So the lead back out to 70-49, a 21-point margin, the largest of the game so far. Here's Diaz, tries the 3, no. And rebound going to be pulled out of there by Hanover, and now they're on the break. Bezold, nice job pulling that in, got it blocked away. It'll stay with the Panthers.
And that was really good job just getting her hand on the basketball right there. Baum on the defensive end, and she really had to switch her hips over to get from the person that she was originally defending to get on the ball right there.
Bezold going to face up and fire. Can't get that to go. Baum, nice rebound. That one's kicked. Reese Sexton got her foot on it. Sophia Reese going to come back in, replacing Randolph.
And by bringing in Reese, you know you've got some speed on your wings with Diaz as well. See if they try to use that to their advantage.
Five seconds left on the shot clock. Reese fakes, step back, and blocked away. And that'll be a shot clock violation.
It seems like Rose-Hulman's getting the shot looks that they want to start, and then just that hesitation is allowing the defense to really start to close in. If Reese takes that shot when the ball hits her hands, I think that she's got an open look.
It's been a struggle from deep for Rose-Hulman this season, and there's probably some trepidation about just letting it fly, although we've seen Sophia Reese hit a couple of those tonight. So maybe they shouldn't be as concerned. Another 3-second call. It's like seeing It's like seeing a unicorn in the wild twice in one day. Between that and the jump ball calls. But Bezold called for another 3-second violation, and we'll see Grace Rowland come back in as Jamie Baum will trot over to the bench.
Early conference hoops, you just never know what you're going to see.
Rowland almost threw that one out of bounds, but a nice job by Reese to recover. Shamba, decisive move to the basket, and she gets it to go in the foul.
And there have been a couple of times where Shamba has tried to force the issue and get those to go, and they just haven't fallen. On that time, it's a similar situation, but she needs these to fall, and you can tell that there's a little bit more intensity where she came in a lot stronger on that play than she had in the past, and that's the reason that she's the leading scorer for the team right now is her aggressiveness around the hoop. You see it right there. She nearly loses it, and I think it actually helped her because she might have passed that off and said she just calls her own number.
Looked like one of those plays like in football where the wide receiver starts to move without having the basketball. Fortunately, it bounced exactly where she needed it to keep moving towards the basket. And another jump ball going to be called. This one will stay with the Fighting Engineers. Baum back in, and Shamba will sit down. Manuela Shamba leading Rose-Hulman with 16 points scored so far this evening. Reese couldn't get the entry pass to go, but got it back. Now here's Baum for three. Can't get that one to fall. Rowland up, no. Black can't pull in the board, and now it'll be Hanover coming out with it.
Couple of good opportunities there for Rose-Hulman, but just hard to find baskets right now.
Nice job by Sophia Reese to knock that out from behind on Grace Bezold. It'll be an out-of-bounds play for the Panthers.
And since that long time out, though, the defense has played well for Rose-Hulman. There hasn't been another basket for Hanover.
Entry pass stolen by Baum. Has a lane, up, no, rebound, kicked it back out. Rowland lumbering to the basket, and they're going to say a travel. Extra step taken by Grace Rowland in the eyes of the official.
The ball needed to keep moving around the arc right there for Rose-Hulman. They would have had two opportunities at an open shot. Plus you get the crash down to the basket by Rowland, and you've got an opportunity for an offensive rebound if it does miss.
Outlet pass stolen by Shamba, knocked out of bounds. It'll remain with Hanover.
I would not try to force the issue if I see Shamba being the sort of safety role back there.
Definitely has a command of where the basketball is at and has shown an ability to steal it. Nice pass there. And Katie Clancy pads her stats on the evening. Clancy now with 11. She joins a host of Hanover players in double figures. Foul going to be called going the other way. 5 Hanover Panthers in double figures. Bezold leading the way with 19, Benter with 14, Heath with 10, Ernstes with 10, and now Clancy with 11. Free throw up and good by Sophia Reese. She's got her 11th point on the night.
And that field goal percentage starting to really go up for this Hanover team. Everybody pretty much playing at an efficient rate.
Benter off to Grace Bezold at the top of the key. Now knocked away, and a nice job by Amelia Diaz. She couldn't keep it from going out of bounds, but really quick hands defensively there.
Yeah, and this is a defense for Rose-Hulman throughout this entire game. The one big plus has been the hot hands. They've been all over it on defense, making deflections, making it difficult. But right now it's just Hanover hitting shots like that, tough shots with players in their face.
Katie Clancy once again getting in good position. She's been a real problem all night. There's Reese, got that shot up, almost got it to sneak over the rim. She'll go to the line for 2. Reese Sexton picking up the foul, her second on the night.
Yeah, Sophia Reese, not typically a three-point shooter. She's already got 2 today. She's looking for the old-fashioned one right there.
Free throws have been a little bit of a struggle down the stretch here for Rose-Hulman. Now 12 for 17, 13 for 18 now in the evening. Still a really good overall statistical number. Godoy Rodriguez going to re-enter the contest for Rose-Hulman. 20-point margin with 2:58 remaining in this contest. Benter breaks the pressure, and now Sexton. Hanover in no hurry to run offense, but they'll get it down low. Lawson kicks it back out. Benter's 3 goes. And Benter now 5 for 6 from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and she can just be an absolutely lethal shooter from deep. Already led the team in three-pointers made with 10 coming into the game.
It has 5 of the 6 that Hanover's made, and they've snuck up on us a little bit in terms of their three-point percentage. They're 6 for 12 on the evening. You'll take that most nights.
Yeah, they've got 6. She's got 5 of them. I mean, the rest of the team, you see a lot of 0-1, 0-1, 0-2, 1-2, and then 5 of 6. She's just been incredibly efficient and really boosting that number for her team.
Kyla Lawson, the sophomore from Columbus North High School, knocks down the free throw. And that was the 5th foul on Ashley Black. So the Rose-Hulman guard ineligible for the rest of the contest, unfortunately. Spot up 3 in the corner, and that's knocked in by Sammy Berman. The floodgate's starting to open here for Hanover as they're up 81-54.
Yeah, some confusion there on the defensive end, just left one person wide open.
Ball thrown away. A little miscommunication as Tori Scales was trying to find Columbia Rodriguez, the new face in the game, and couldn't quite spot her. Rodriguez, one of 2 players from overseas, or at least from outside the borders of the United States. Columbia Rodriguez from Monterrey, Mexico. Layup attempt no good by Hanover, and the rebound picked up by Shamba. Shamba coast to coast, now kicks it off to Reese, who fires the 3, can't get it. Now Reese Sexton taking her time. Pretty much the bench unit out there right now for this Hanover squad. Another 3, and that's banked in by Regan Martin.
Yeah, a lot more open shots as you can see here down the stretch by Hanover. And like you mentioned, a couple of players who aren't typically seeing this amount of time coming into the game, and Hanover's taking advantage.
Shamba dishes it off. Rodriguez can't get it to go. And a timeout going to be called for substitution purposes. And we'll see several new faces coming into the game for both teams. Naya Vinesh in for Rose-Hulman in her first action of the contest.
Number 14, Grace Rowland.
Rowland comes back in. Randolph back into the contest as well. And you've got Maria Godoy Rodriguez out there as one of the guards. Time winding down in this contest, 30-point margin for Hanover. Martin, nice move down low, but misses the shot. Scary splits down there by Columbia Rodriguez in the paint, but nice job of maintaining possession of the basketball.
If I did that, I'd be out for the season. I would not recover.
And a travel going to be whistled on Rodriguez. So with 12.9 seconds left, that should wrap it up. We'll see Lily Ernstis inbound this ball. And Alexis Wines will likely bring it across the timeline and dribble it out. So the Hanover Panthers pick up their 4th win of the season. They move to 4-4 on the campaign and pick up their 3rd conference victory. Rose-Hulman drops their 6th contest of the season, now standing at 3-6 overall and 2-2 in the HCAC. The final score from this one, 84-54. Hanover with the big win. Landon, it looked like Rose-Hulman had gotten themselves back into the contest in that 3rd quarter. Momentum was going their way, and just all credit to Hanover for not just stabilizing, but really pushing this one well out of reach down the stretch.
Yeah, in the first half, Hanover built up a pretty significant lead. Rose-Hulman really started chipping away in that lead. The difference was when they got toward the end of the 3rd quarter, Hanover was able to get a couple of late baskets that kind of put them in a position where they could really just close out the 4th quarter right at the start, and that's what they did. They jumped out in that 4th quarter aggressive. They were able to control the tempo in the 4th, and that's really just what sealed it.
Leading scorers for both teams. For Hanover, Grace Bezold, 19 points, 8 rebounds. Not her normal scoring output, and Rose-Hulman certainly deserves credit for keeping her under wraps. Her teammates showed out in a big way. Catherine Venter, 17 points. Katie Clancy with 13. Taylor Heath with 10. And Lily Ernstis with 10. For Rose-Hulman, it was Manuela Shamba, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals. Sophia Reese, 13 points, including 2 for 6 from three-point land, and then Grace Rowland, 11 points and 9 rebounds. So as we wrap up things from Holbrook Arena, again, the final score in this one, 84-54. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think that if this Rose-Hulman team wants to find some more success here later down the stretch, they have to be able to not necessarily knock down threes, but show that they're willing to take them. The impact that was being made defensively by Hanover, by being able to pack the paint, just makes it so much more difficult to find any early baskets. And I think if Rose-Hulman can start to get some confidence around the perimeter, they're going to be a lot better off.
Our thanks to our crew for today's broadcast, Daniel Miller, Savannah Semler on cameras, and Ben Wood, our producer. For Landon Kleindover, I'm Galen Clavio. Thanks for joining us here for this broadcast of Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers women's basketball. Again, the final score, 84-54. Hanover wins. We'll catch you folks on the flip side. Thanks for joining us, folks. So long, everybody.